Hey guys, welcome to HAG. Hi Autistic Guy. Today I'm going to be talking about autism, dating, and an analogy for my mental and emotional states. And that analogy is that my mental and emotional states are very sensitive, very fragile, and they need to have equilibrium. So they are very much similar to a Newton's cradle. So if you know what a Newton's cradle is, it's basically just based on equilibrium, right? A solid, balanced state. But if you push one of the balls to the side, it's going to throw the whole cradle off. And if you've ever tangled a Newton's cradle before, you know it's pretty much impossible to get it back untangled. And I realized when I smoked the other day that, I had that analogy in my head because I get very visualizations, I guess, when I'm high. And that analogy came into my head, and that is so me. That is my mental and emotional state. Oftentimes, it can swing back and forth pretty well. It's pretty well balanced. But if I get something unexpected or I'm thrown for a loop, one of those balls goes off to the side and the whole thing gets tangled up. Similar to my mental state, it's tangled, confusing, and I tend to shut down. Now, in regard to dating, this is actually when I realized that analogy of my mind kind of being like a Newton's cradle. I was supposed to go on a date last week. And usually, if I have a date in the evening, I'm pretty anxious throughout the whole day and kind of want to lean into the self-sabotage and just cancel and stay in my safe place, right, at home. But the last week, the whole day went great. I was looking forward to meeting her, no anxiety, wanting to go out and broaden my horizons, not stay at home. And so I was ready to go. I started getting ready about 5 o'clock. We were going to meet for a tea and then go for a walk. And it was a beautiful day. But then at about 5:20, it starts pouring. There's a huge thunderstorm. And so right away, this unexpected thing is rain. That kind of takes the walk out of the equation, right? And so I get frazzled, but I'm keeping it together. The Newton cradle is kind of wiggling, but the balls haven't gotten tangled yet. So I text her and I say, hey, do you just want to meet for a tea and go from there depending on the weather? And she said that was cool. So then I looked up, so we're set, right? I jumped over that obstacle and feeling proud of myself, got through it, handled the unexpectation well. So I checked the directions to the tea shop and I realized it was closed like a half hour ago. So I'm like, again, another obstacle, right? So I text her, did you know this tea shop is closed? And she said, no, how about we get a bite to eat? So, I was just proud of me again for reaching out and texting her saying, hey, the tea shop's closed now. And, kind of going with the flow. I was very proud of myself, being flexible. But then she said, okay, how about a bite to eat? Well, my Newton cradle started to get tangled up because I had just eaten. My OCD gives me all these irrational rules. And if I were to go eat, I would have gotten hammered by my OCD. Russell, you're fat, you just ate twice. You ate when you weren't hungry. You're not even supposed to eat at this time. You're always supposed to eat, at like 7, not 5:30. And so all these rules are almost like the background rigidity of my mind. Even though I can be flexible in the front of it, the background is still very much rigid. And so when she asked if we can get something to eat, I didn't respond. And it was getting close to the time we were supposed to meet because I was just shutting down. I was like, this hurdle's too big now. I don't want to tell her, no, I already ate. What else can we do? Or I didn't want to say, hey, you can eat, but I'm not going to get anything because that's awkward if only one person is eating. So I didn't text her back. Then after about 10 minutes, she texted me saying, can I call? And I said yes. And picked up the phone, keeping it together, a few tears, a few bouts of crying, but I'm just kind of sitting with my emotions. And when she picked up the phone, she said hi, and I said hi, and she asked me how I was doing, and I said I'm doing pretty well. But I wasn't. And just saying that out loud, almost lying to myself, really bothered me because I'm very authentic. But at the same time, I've never met this woman. She's just saying, how are you as, a greeting. she's not really asking. I mean, she might be, but it's more of a greeting. It's not to be taken literally, right? But my autistic mind immediately goes to, she asked me how I was doing. I need to be honest. I'm authentic. So I would, I wish I could have said I'm really struggling right now, which I could have, but I didn't, because I wanted to, I guess, wear that societal mask, right? And just force things to run smoothly rather than just letting them be what they are. So I said I'm doing pretty well. And she asked me, do you want to go get a bite to eat? And again, I was like, I don't know what to say. My OCD is like talking too loud for me even to be able to say anything. So I panicked and I hung up the phone. And immediately after I hung up the phone, flashbacks when I was younger and when I would do that, needing like to make a doctor's appointment, and they would say, hello, Dr. Blah and Blah's office, and I would just get just overwhelmed at that, that I would just hang up the phone. So I got flashbacks that I totally forgot about. Then I kind of tossed my phone because I was so ashamed. Again, it's that disability shame of expecting myself to function at a certain level, unexpected, it's rather I put too high standards on myself. So that was part of the shame. And then also hanging up on her. I mean, goddamn, that's I don't ever purposely hang up on anybody, and it was just more of an instinctual reaction to cut out the sensory overload and just shut down because I was overwhelmed. So I texted her back, and about 10 minutes later, because I totally broke down after that, I just started sobbing and had a meltdown. And then 10 minutes later, I just said, I'm so sorry. I am not doing well at all, actually. Unexpected change is very difficult for me. And I was afraid of what she would say. She doesn't know anything about my autism or anything. I don't really tell anybody I have autism unless they, really inquire a lot about me. But she actually responded, just say, it's totally fine, Russell, and just take care of yourself. And so we didn't meet that night because I didn't want to keep her waiting on me. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go out or not because I was pretty exhausted at that point in time. But I haven't met her yet. So that's just kind of that's it, right? It's the Newton's Cradle. 1 second it can be rocking back and forth pretty smoothly, and then next all the balls are tangled up. And those are kind of the nuances, the ambiguities behind dating with autism before you even go on a date, right? Like I didn't even go on a date last week, but here I am talking about everything that transpired before I actually went on a date. And what it boils down to for me personally, the takeaway I hope that you guys can get from this and that I've taken away from this is that I'm getting better, but I really need to stay present. I still habitually and instinctively just project everything on the future. It's like a movie. I see things very visually and like at how everything's going to go. And when that doesn't happen, that causes an extreme unbalance in the Newton's Cradle. It's like someone shaking the Newton's Cradle. And I just get so tangled. So I need to become more present, more aware of when I project into the future. And then also, I need to be kinder to myself. I shouldn't, I don't want to say I shouldn't, because everything you feel is fine, right? It's accepting your feelings and learning how to learn about them more. So I don't want to say I shouldn't feel shame, but I do. Mostly from my own expectations of how I think I should function. I say to myself, Russ, God damn it, I'm a 30-year-old man and I can't even go on a goddamn date. Kind of just that negative commentary in the back. And I have to realize, how much I do put up with every day. This life of mine is not easy at all. And I have to realize that because, obviously I live my life. So it's my life, it's my normal. But sometimes I forget how difficult it is just because I'm always up to my neck in water. I just become accustomed to it. So I need to, again, kind of reintegrate that into my daily belief system so I can be kinder to myself when I'm unable to go out like I did on this past week. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, drop me a comment, shoot me a message. And thanks again. Stay tuned for future episodes of FAD. Appreciate it. To catch all the latest episodes, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell.